He's downplaying it, you guys, but Danny has no arms, literally. So there
Yeah.
are no arms. Is there any way we can get a shot? So I'm Jimmy Chang, and today I've got a special guest. His name is Danny Rodriguez, and the reason why I have him on the show today is because I love stories of overcoming adversity, and I think Danny is a great example of overcoming adversity. And so I just want to start off. Danny, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Okay. Daniel Rodriguez. I'm from San Jose, California, and I'm 26 years old. And let me see. I don't even know where to start. I guess I'll start off. I was born without arms, so I do everything, with my feet and stuff, and it's makes things a little difficult, but it makes things also fun to overcome.
Yeah, so I saw Danny on Instagram, and that's how I found him. He's downplaying it, you guys, but Danny has no arms, literally. So there
Yeah.
are no arms. Is there any way we can get a shot? There you go. Yeah, and so everything is done with your feet, right?
Yeah, everything. My feet are like my hands. Like
And so
I
you're
do
holding
everything.
the phone right
Mo-
now with
Yeah,
your
with
feet.
my foot. Yeah, yeah.
Wow. How did you get started with the Onewheel?
So I've heard about the Onewheel back when I think it was like their first version, and it was still like at the Kickstarter stage and all that. So I was kind of like, oh, if it ever gets off the ground, that'll be cool. Look something into it. And so now years go by, and this last, I think it was February, to end of February, beginning of March, I saw. I think his name is Jeff McAllister of Float Life.
Yep, Jeff McCosker.
Yeah, McCasker. He posted a 30-minute ride video of him riding around Sacramento, and I must have watched that video like 100 times already. Man, I love the music of it, everything. It was just like a complete different from what I remembered it looking like. So that's what made me really do the research and look up, and I was hooked instantly. And it was funny because again, this was in February. So once I made that decision, like, oh man, I need one of these. Like, I'm gonna start investing, saving up and all that. March came around and they announced the pint. So it was like a blessing. Like, oh man, a smaller board, a more affordable board. I'm definitely getting it, like without a hesitation.
For sure. So it was the videos from the Float Life that kind of
Yeah,
got you.
that particular video is what made me even do research to even look up what it was. And then obviously when the pint was announced, I started doing research on that to see if I could find any videos. And then I came across your videos trying to learn before I even get my board. I wanted to, get like a little background. Like I do anything on YouTube, I
Sure.
look up always try to look up a little just to give a little, something background to it or,
For sure.
so.
I'm the same way. Now, learning how to ride the Onewheel is hard enough with arms. I mean,
Mhm.
what's been your experience now that you've had the pint?
I have a background in skateboarding. I've been skating since middle school. I don't really do tricks. I put the longboard wheels on my skateboard, so I go like distance. I like to go far, and
Okay.
so that's kind of like how I kind of feel real comfortable, at least attempting it.
Sure. And I think the Onewheel is perfect for you because you say you have this background in skateboarding, and so naturally, well, why don't you do an electric skateboard and electric longboard? But those require a
Have
hand control.
Oh my god, that is the biggest problem of my life before the Onewheel. Is I've seen electric scooters and skateboards everywhere, and I'm like, man, if only they make something that I can ride, and I would be grateful for that. And then they came out with those hoverboards, the ones that look like segways.
Hmm.
But like I said, I like to skateboard, so I don't like anything that makes me want to go forward or backwards. I'd rather go side to side.
Yeah, stand sideways. How do you describe the feeling when we're trying to describe to someone the feeling you get when you're riding
Man.
the Onewheel?
Skateboard on big wheels and it's real shock absorbent type wheels, and I always felt like I was, floating on that, and then I get something that just eats up everything. Like you don't feel that's almost like a scary kind of feeling though, because you don't feel anything. Like I'm so used to like certain pots and bumps in my neighborhood that I know where they are because I skate the neighborhood a lot, and now I go over there with caution, and yet it just eases over it, and it's like wow, like I don't know, man. It's very different. Very like the best way they described it was floaty. It's very
Floating,
floaty, very
yeah.
like hovery. It's almost like riding on air almost.
Tell me,
Hmm.
what are some of the common questions that people ask you, and how do you answer those questions?
A lot of people ask me, like, how did it happen? And there was no incident. I think they want to hear this crazy story of, like, I got eaten by a shark and on the way to the hospital, I crashed and lost a limb. Like, nothing like that. I was born this way, and there's really nothing to it. Most questions I get is how I do things, and I tell them, with my feet. A lot of people ask the limitation of what can and can I not do, and that's real hard to answer because I really don't know my limits. I've done a lot of things, and I continue to do things that people ask. Like, it's like driving, for example. People ask if I can drive, and I can. I have my own little car, and I mob around the neighborhood and stuff. Just simple things like that. I like people to ask me, like, or like to see if I can, and if I can't, I'll go attempt it.
Mm-hmm. What are some activities that you enjoy doing? You talked about skateboarding. You ride the Onewheel. What are some other activities that you do?
Really, that's pretty much it. I'm real mellow. I mean, I play video games a lot. I have my PlayStation that I play a lot.
All with your feet.
Yeah, all with my feet. People don't believe that I'm a real competitive gamer. I really like playing first-person shooters and everything, sports games.
What's the hardest everyday task that you've had to learn or adapt to?
I don't know. That'll be a tough one. I guess it'd be more of the just dealing with the fact that life is hard. Okay. That's probably the biggest deal, because everything else, I mean, I'm pretty sure you have struggles in your life just waking up and trying to do everyday tasks. It's the overwhelming thoughts in your head of, should I even go about my day?
Yeah. Then what motivates you?
The reaction I get from people that see me do everything. And it's the circle I have that I guess they give me that look like, you shouldn't be out here doing this, and yet you're out here doing this, and that feeling makes me get up every day, like, big smiles. Like I like it.
Yeah, that's a great feeling. I think that's a big reason why people like the Onewheel, because of the attention that they get. Because when they're riding on it, people look at them go by and they're like, you shouldn't be able to do that. And now you
literally
are doing that without any arms.
I'm at the park down the street, and it's connected to an elementary school. So the people there are kids and parents and, chilling, and they're looking at the Onewheel shocked because they probably never seen anything like that in their life. And then they look at me riding it, and they're like double shocked. They're like, there's no way he's riding that. But it makes them feel like, man, it is possible. Like, you can do it. You just got to do it. You just can't be scared, man.
So you talked about people with physical limitations earlier, and sometimes their physical limitations can prevent them from doing things that they want to do. What advice do you have to them to help motivate them, to keep them going?
Just try to be creative and doing things that you want to do that may not be meant for you, I guess, because that's a real loose word I use too, because, anything, I guess people with arms are more catered to when it comes to products, okay?
For sure.
But you just got to be real creative on how you use those products for yourself, Okay. Because anything can be changed or modified, You just got to find a way,
Yeah, so find a way. Be creative.
Yeah, be creative. That. Don't say you can't until you physically have tried and attempted and failed, and then be like, okay, maybe I can't do this per se, But there's always a will. If there's a will, there's a way, and I feel like I've done so much to make that happen, to where I feel like the ones that tell me they can't are just lazy.
Yeah, no, I love that. I mean, we all have our struggles. Everyone. Sometimes they're physical, sometimes they're mental. They could be emotional, and we're all dealing with something. And I think you are a good example of someone who has a struggle or some an obstacle that you've had to overcome in your life, and you found a way because you were creative. And I love that, and I think that's an inspiration for many people.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you so much for taking the time to spend with me.
Yeah, anytime, Jim. You're a real humble guy, man.
I feel like life is all about pushing ourselves outside our boundary, trying to make the best with our situation, and you've done that. And so thank you so much.
Every day you see me doing something amazing, it'll maybe motivate you to want to do something amazing or help others to do something amazing, Maybe people are on the fence to get a Onewheel, and now they're like, oh, if this kid can do it, anyone can. So,
for sure. And then you're going to inspire someone out there too. whether it's to ride on one wheel or to get up in the morning to go to school or to go to their job. And so I think that's going to be a great inspiration.
Keep it going.
Yeah. So in your Instagram handle, it's Toe Game Strong.
Toe Game Strong. Yes.
Okay. And we'll make sure to link to that, and we'll get the word out. All right. Cool. Thanks, man. Appreciate your time.
All right. You too. You have a good one.
Take care, Danny. Bye.